Different types of lugs require different torque specifications for proper installation. There are different types of lugs, with 20-inch pound lugs typically used with solid copper wire, and 35-inch pound lugs typically used with stranded copper wire. To properly install them, firstly, ensure the lug is the correct type for the wire being used. Secondly, strip the wire to the correct length as specified in the breaker. And thirdly, insert the wire into the lug and tighten it to the specified torque using a torque wrench. Failure to follow these instructions could result in a loose connection, arcing, and potential fire hazards. Always check the side of the breaker for the correct torque specification before tightening the lugs. If unsure which type of lug to use or how to properly install it, consult with a qualified electrician. It is crucial to recognize that the torque specifications for electrical connections are not arbitrary numbers. They are carefully determined values that ensure a secure and reliable electrical connection. Under-torquing a connection can lead to a loose connection, increasing resistance, which generates heat. This heat can cause the insulation to melt, leading to short circuits and potentially fires. Over-torquing a connection can damage the lug or the breaker itself, compromising the integrity of the connection and also potentially leading to failure. Using a torque wrench is essential when making electrical connections. A torque wrench allows for precise application of the specified torque, ensuring the connection is neither too loose nor too tight. It is important to calibrate the torque wrench regularly to maintain its accuracy. When stripping the wire, it's important to use the correct stripping tool and to avoid nicking or damaging the conductor. A nicked conductor can weaken the wire and increase resistance at the connection point. The length of the stripped wire should match the recommendation provided in the breaker. Too much exposed wire can create a safety hazard, while too little wire can result in an inadequate connection. When inserting the wire into the lug, ensure that all the strands of the wire are fully inserted. Loose strands can reduce the effective contact area and increase resistance. For stranded wire, it may be necessary to twist the strands tightly before inserting them into the lug to ensure a solid connection. Always inspect the lugs for any signs of damage or corrosion before installation. Damaged or corroded lugs should be replaced. The type of wire being used, whether solid or stranded, is a critical factor in determining the correct lug type. Solid wire has a single conductor, while stranded wire consists of multiple smaller conductors twisted together. Stranded wire is more flexible than solid wire and is typically used in applications where flexibility is required. The lugs designed for solid wire are typically different from those designed for stranded wire. The 20-inch pound lugs are generally designed to provide a secure connection for solid wire, while the 35-inch pound lugs are designed for stranded wire. The higher torque specification for stranded wire lugs is necessary to ensure that all the strands are properly compressed and a reliable connection is established. When working with electrical systems, safety is paramount. Always energize the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. If unsure about any aspect of the electrical work, consult with a qualified electrician. Arc fault circuit interrupters, or AFCIs, are designed to protect against electrical fires caused by arcing faults. An arcing fault is an unintentional electrical discharge that can occur when damaged or deteriorated wires create a path for electricity to jump across a gap. AFCIs can detect these arcing faults and quickly trip the circuit, preventing a fire from starting. The lugs are a critical part of the AFCI breaker, as they provide the connection point for the wires that carry the electrical current. A loose or improperly torqued lug can create an arcing fault, which the AFCI is designed to detect. Therefore, it is essential to ensure that the lugs are properly installed and torqued to the correct specification. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed requirements for electrical installations, including the proper torque specifications for electrical connections. It's essential to comply with the NEC requirements to ensure a safe and reliable electrical system. Always refer to the manufacturer's instructions and the NEC for the most up-to-date information on electrical installations. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take all necessary precautions to protect. Always double check your work to ensure that everything is properly installed and torqued. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult with a qualified electrician. Electrical safety is not just a matter of following instructions, it's a matter of understanding the principles of electricity and the potential hazards involved. By taking the time to learn about electrical safety, you can protect and ensure the safety of others. In addition to the torque specification, the type of lug material is also important. Lugs are typically made of copper or aluminum. Copper lugs are generally used with copper wire, while aluminum lugs are generally used with aluminum wire. It is important to use the correct lug material for the wire being used to prevent galvanic corrosion. Galvanic corrosion can occur when two dissimilar metals are in contact in the presence of an electrolyte, such as moisture. The corrosion can weaken the connection and lead to failure. When installing lugs, it's important to clean the wire and the lug before making the connection. This can help to remove any dirt, debris, or corrosion that may be present. A wire brush or a specialized cleaning solution can be used to clean the wire and the lug. After cleaning the wire and the lug, apply an antioxidant compound to the connection. An antioxidant compound can help to prevent corrosion and improve the conductivity of the connection. The antioxidant compound should be applied to the wire and the lug before tightening the connection. When tightening the lug, use a torque wrench to apply the specified torque. It is important to tighten the lug gradually and evenly to ensure a proper connection. Do not over-tighten the lug, as this can damage the lug or the wire. After tightening the lug, inspect the connection to ensure that it is secure and that there are no loose strands of wire. A properly installed and torqued lug is essential for a safe and reliable electrical connection. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions and the NEC requirements when installing lugs. In addition to the lug type and torque specification, the size of the wire is also a critical factor. The lug must be sized appropriately for the wire gauge being used. Using a lug that is too small for the wire can result in an inadequate connection, while using a lug that is too large can result in a loose connection. The wire gauge is typically marked in the wire insulation. The lug should be marked with the wire gauge range that it is designed. It is important to match the wire gauge to the lug size. When selecting a lug, also consider the environment in which it will be used. If the lug will be exposed to moisture or corrosive chemicals, it's important to select a lug that is designed for use in harsh environments. These lugs are typically made of corrosion-resistant materials. They may also be coated with a protective coating. Regularly inspect electrical connections to ensure that they are in good condition. Look for signs of corrosion, damage, or overheating. If you find any problems, correct them immediately. Loose or corroded connections can create a fire hazard. It is also important to keep electrical panels and equipment clean and free of dust and debris. Dust and debris can accumulate on electrical components and cause them to overheat. Regularly clean electrical panels and equipment with a vacuum cleaner or a soft brush. When working with electrical systems, it's important to be aware of the potential hazards and to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself. Always de-energize the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult with a qualified electrician. Electricity is a powerful force, and it should be treated with respect. Electrical accidents can cause serious injuries or even death. By following safety precautions and taking the time to learn about electrical safety, one can protect themselves and others. Remember that electrical codes and standards are constantly evolving. It is important to stay up to date on the latest requirements to ensure the safety of electrical installations. Consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector for guidance on electrical codes and standards. The importance of proper torque on electrical connections cannot be overstated. It is a critical factor in ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems. Always use a torque wrench and follow the manufacturer's instructions and the NEC requirements when making electrical connections. By taking the time to do the job right, you can prevent electrical fires and other hazards. Therefore, checking the lug types and the corresponding torque specifications on the breaker becomes a vital step. This proactive measure ensures electrical safety, prevents potential hazards, and guarantees the long-term reliability of the electrical system. When verifying the torque specification, pay attention to the units. Torque is commonly measured in inch-pounds or foot-pounds. Make sure the torque wrench is set to the correct units before tightening the lug. Using the wrong units can result in over-tightening or under-tightening the connection. It is also important to use a calibrated torque wrench. A calibrated torque wrench will provide accurate torque readings. Torque wrenches should be calibrated periodically to ensure their accuracy. If you are unsure how to calibrate a torque wrench, consult with a qualified technician. When tightening the lug, apply the torque gradually and evenly. Avoid jerky movements or sudden force. A smooth and steady application of torque will ensure proper connection. After tightening the lug, double-check the torque reading to make sure it is within the specified range. If the torque reading is not within the specified range, loosen the lug and retighten it. Repeat this process until the torque reading is correct. In addition to the torque specification, the condition of the wire and the lug is also important. The wire should be clean and free of corrosion. The lug should be in good condition and free of damage. If the wire or the lug is damaged, it should be replaced. Damaged wires or lugs can create a fire hazard. It is also important to use the correct type of wire for the application. Different types of wire have different current carrying capacities. Using the wrong type of wire can overload the circuits and create a fire hazard. Consult with a qualified electrician or the NEC for guidance on wire selection. Always use the correct tools and equipment for electrical work. Using the wrong tools or equipment can damage electrical components or create a safety hazard. It is also important to use tools and equipment that are in good condition. Damaged tools or equipment can be dangerous. Electrical work should only be performed by qualified individuals. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, consult with a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it should only be performed by individuals who have the necessary training and experience. The consequences of improper electrical work can be severe. Improperly installed electrical systems can create a fire hazard or cause electrical shock. It is important to take electrical safety seriously and to follow all safety precautions. By following these guidelines, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems. Proper torque and lug selection are crucial for preventing loose connections, arcing, and potential fire hazards.